Welcome to part two of Manifesting Love. We've just dealt with, last week we dealt with loving yourself, healing your inner child, and now we're going to focus on the external world. And the question I really want to deal with today is, do you know love exists? And the answer is obvious. The answer is yes. It's dwelled within you. You've felt moments. You may not believe it exists in the long run, maybe especially if you've had a hard upbringing in terms of your parents may not love each other. Maybe you haven't had access to both parents, and therefore you've seen it as something that is done alone, or that love is something that is full of strife and struggle. But I'm here to say that doesn't have to be your version of love. That can be a version of love that you never have to truly tap into. And so, first of all, let's start with the hard stuff, which is let's go back and find out what our likelihood of us having a positive relationship with love is. So, ask yourself, what is the relationship that your parents had? And you can do this even in the present moment, because at the end of the day, if it was bad but they're good now, you may have already gone through what you need to believe that love exists. But how are your friends? How are their relationships? How are other family members? What are the relationships you remember now that come to mind? Because that will tell you a lot about where you are currently in your life. Are you holding on to a lot of the negative ones? Do you see a lot of positive relationships? What are the longer relationships you know of? And so this will build a picture of what you've already created. And if you can, truly allow yourself to accept the version of love that you have. And again, you probably won't truly be able to appreciate it until you're in the situation, but you can have an idea. And so let's get to actually helping you and not just letting you suffer with your mind. The easiest way to change this is to change your external world. That means the best version is get living proof that love exists. That's if you've got friends, if you've got family, ask that have been in a very positive relationship, that have lived for have been together for a long time, and get loads of references if you can. And ask how they got together. Ask what it feels like to be together for so long. Get to a place of comfort with love. Because the problem we've got here is the universe loves to multiply what you already have, and so what's that phrase? Misery loves company. So if you're in that kind of environment now where you feel like there is no love, not for yourself or anyone around you in your life, then do it through social media, TikTok, Instagram, follow accounts like Couple Goals, even if it's celebrities that have got together. Allow yourself to be invested in love, and you can almost use that as a vision board where when you're scrolling you'll see an image of an amazing couple. Put it this way, I see these positive things all the time. I'm married. It's actually my second anniversary today. And so we've got a child, we've got another one on the way, so I'm constantly seeing amazing dad videos, couples with children videos on my TikTok and Instagram. So I am constantly happiness loves company. So I want you to try and tap into that algorithm. People see algorithms as a negative. Well, guess what? If you're in a positive state, it could be a positive. So do everything you can to allow love to be around you, and then you'll start believing it within yourself. And another thing I did for this video was I asked couples, like, because I don't want to be giving advice that I can't say I've done myself. Like, I want to prove that it's doable. So, like, customers and like people that I work with, I asked them and I was like, hey, what do you believe love is, and how would you show love to someone that doesn't believe love exists? And one person gave me an amazing answer. I got loads of amazing answers, but one stood out, and it was one of my watch repairers. So I work in jewelry, like that's my day job. And so I came over, I was like, can I ask you a question? And he thought I was going to ask him about straps, because that's what he had in front of him. And then I turned around and I said the question. I was like, how would you express love to someone that doesn't believe love exists? And so just for background, he's been in a relationship. He's happily married for 26 years. And he turned around and went, I don't know how to explain it. It's just a comfort zone. And it, like, the moment he said it, I went, oh my God, that's genuinely the best answer. And so we're going to tap into tools and things to actually start manifesting love in episode 3. So the first 2 episodes are more about the foundation, so that you're ready for love. But what he said there is the greatest tool you can ever have. And it's, well, your current comfort zone is based on your fears. Well, how about you imagine yourself in the future, whether you're old and grey and you're with your partner, you're just enjoying life, you've got children, you've got grandchildren, and you're at a point in your life where you have so much love, you've forgotten what it feels like not to be loved. If you can visualize that, then you've already aligned yourself with a life that undoubtedly has love within it. Because your comfort zone becomes one that is full of love, and therefore the universe will provide more of what you believe is true. So yeah, I was genuinely surprised by his answer, and it was amazing to hear. So don't be scared to go out there and ask. If you've got positive relationships and people in your life that you'd love to like see how they've done it, don't be scared to ask. You don't have to say I'm struggling with love, but just the odd question of, so how did you two get together? And they'll naturally tell you. And that's not to say it's easy all the time. Like there are ups and downs with the relationships, but another thing you've got to realize is realizing that love exists. Some of you may be here going, I don't need this episode, I know what love exists. But what happens if you know what love should feel like, you know what love should look like, but you've also got a short temper? And therefore you constantly find yourself in situations where you're able to find love, but then because of your lack of communication, things break down the moment things either get serious or the moment we have any form of disagreement. Well, then believe that there is a reality where you can communicate fully without being emotionally vulnerable in those situations. It exists, I promise you. And another way of looking at this is, so when you're sad, when you feel unloved, what is it you desire? Some of you, it may be a hug. Some of you, it may be to curl up into a ball at home until you feel a little bit better about yourself, and then you can venture back outside. But let's use the hugging example, because this is a very good example, because there are usually belief systems that counteract each other, which is why we get stuck in a loop. So if you've got a belief system that says, oh my God, I'm so alone, I want a hug. And then if someone else was in a situation where they looked like they needed a hug, you're the type of person that goes, well, that's awkward and embarrassing. Why would I hug them? Well, then, how is the universe meant to give you someone that's willing to hug you if you believe it's awkward and embarrassing? If you're a hugger, make sure you're out there hugging people. If you don't see love, talk about it like it's part of your life and it's there everywhere around you. And it will start to show up. And again, this isn't about manifesting love yet. This is just realizing that love is abundant and all around if you're willing to open your eyes to it. Let's see if I missed anything. I'll tell you what, let me just say something. I've got written down how I started in the area of love, because I had the amazing family. My parents are literally on holiday right now for their anniversary, and like they're still on holiday. They've been married 35 years. I've always had an abundance of love around me, which is why I so easily tap into it, and why I want to gift other people the same realization. But I couldn't speak to others before the age of 16. You either knew me and I didn't stop talking, or you didn't know me and I was the quiet person in the corner just listening. The worst case I remember was when I went to buy groceries, and the woman was talking to me behind the counter, and I couldn't say anything, so I just I paid and walked away awkwardly. And it wasn't until I was 16, I remember this very clearly because my friends all forced me to, and I finally built up the confidence, and I realized it wasn't I wasn't gonna die by speaking to someone. I didn't speak to a girl properly until I was 16. In the area of love. So realize that where you are now is not where you'll be forever. It doesn't matter how bad things have got. It doesn't matter how stuck or lost you feel. Life is constantly changing. And the abundance of love, once you are willing to tap into it, can be yours for the rest of your life. And that idea of making love your comfort zone, it's the same way that if you realize heaven is on earth, it's always heaven. That's a video for another day. I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to handle today. So lean into your fears and lean into what scares you if you want to find out where your comfort zone currently is. Don't be scared to, again, ask people about their relationships. Hug people that you feel like need a hug. Of course, don't go on the street and just start hugging people randomly. But who knows? Maybe you need to be one of those people that wears a sign in public and has free hugs. And then the funny thing is, it always helps yourself as well when you're able to help someone else. Because guess what? You can't hug someone else without being hugged. Technically you can. But 90% of the time they're going to hug you back. If you've asked for a hug and they say yes, you're getting a hug back. So when it comes to your external world, I promise you love exists. If you don't believe it in yourself yet, trust me. trust the universe. Why would it put you in a world where love was unattainable? If anything, I'll finish with this. What a lovely idea it would be if you can imagine why you came down to Earth. So they say you choose the world you go into, which means you know how it ends. And so if you don't like where you are now, I promise there is a beautiful ending. Because we have transmuted something that is dark into light. We have created beauty within a dark place. And so you might as well tap into that comfort zone of, I know love is coming. I know my soulmate, my twin flame, my everything is. Don't worry about time. But I will have that dream reality of love. And some of you may not desire to have the big family and have the children, but maybe it's just having that one person to share your life with. Then it will be yours. That will be your desired reality. So if this helps, please like and subscribe. The channel's actually been growing quite a bit recently. We're still only on I think we're on 222 actually followers, 222 followers, which is quite nice. Do love those synchronicities. The next episode is going to be a juicy one because we're going to be going into the actual meat and potatoes of manifesting, how to actually manifest love, how to get ourselves in a place of abundance, and things that I've already mentioned. So if you want to do something over the next week while we're waiting, apart from the literally talking to people and getting your life to match the love that you want in your life by speaking about love and seeing the positive sides of it. Also, I think I should probably mention this as well. If you have toxic relationships in your life, any toxic relationships in your life, and you feel stuck in them, you have to learn to empty those glasses. Don't be scared now to cut off people that don't serve you. And here's the thing, if they did serve you in some way, they'll come back. They'll find a way back into your life when they are truly needed or when they have matured. But if your closest friend is going through a breakup and they've been in that state for a long time, and I'd say a long time is like 6 months. So if you are constantly being bombarded in your life by love's not worth it, love is painful, don't even bother, you need to cut those people out of your life now. Because once you have a solid foundation of love, you can welcome those people back in, because you won't believe what they say. Because you will know love exists. Because you will know love is yours to obtain. But that external world, that frequency, that idea of misery loves company, there are going to be people in your life right now that are just there to keep you in your frequency, in your current comfort zone, which is fear-based and is stopping you from tapping into love. So good luck with that one. That's going to be... So you've got to remove toxic people in your life. You've got to try to find positive people to replace them with. And if you're just cutting people out, life has a funny way of naturally filling up glasses that are empty. And then another thing that I've mentioned right at the start was the idea of a vision board. And you can do some research. I won't tell you what that's all about yet, but you can probably guess what it is and give it a go. If you want to try that as well this week. And then next week, we'll truly tackle the idea of manifesting and entering a place of abundance, an abundance of love. So, from me, stay kind, stay cute, stay curious, my friends. And I'll see you all very soon.